I remember them saying to me that there is a chance that I may never walk again. I think in that situation it's a fight or flight, and I must have been in the sense of a fighter. So my journey really started like 12 years ago, in 2002. I remember it being a Sunday, and I remember I needed some milk, and so I was driving home on my own and went down a different road than I usually do, and when I was driving down this road, that's where the car lost control. There was nobody else in the car, there's no other cars on the road, the car just lost control, went off the road and then crashed into a post that was at the side and bent the car in half. I think whenever anybody has an accident, they fall over, the first thing they want to do is stand up and brush themselves down, so I'm okay, don't panic. And so that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get out of the car and I couldn't, I was stuck, the door was wedged, and I think I knew that I'd done something with my legs. My left leg had been wrenched sideways at the knee, so that had been ripped apart. So the 4 ligaments that hold it together, 3 of those had been snapped, so just one there. And then my right leg had been partially amputated, which means the 2 bones at the bottom, the fibula and tibia, had both been smashed, and it was just being held on with skin, basically. The surgeon said to me, he says, right, we're going to do the best that we can. I'm going to take you in there. He says, but I'm going to have to tell you that you may have to amputate your right leg. And this was a bit of a shock to me. And I remember looking into his eyes and just saying, just please do the best that you can. I woke up in the hospital bed, and I remember looking down and seeing that I had 2 feet at the end of the bed. And I thought, oh, that's good. Then, you know, the realisation of how bad the legs were kind of eventually hit home. My right leg, with the fibula and tibia just bust through, they literally got a piece of bone 4 inches long and just threw that in the bin. You know, flattened off the ends of the bone and then pushed them together and put a cage around it. They said, well, don't worry too much, you know, you'll be lengthening that out, which I thought was bizarre, but that's what I had to do. And eventually, about a month later, they broke it on a good piece of bone, hammer and chisel kind of thing, and then I had to start twisting the bolts every day. There's a lot of emotion flying around there, and I just wanted to get better and get out of the hospital and get back to where I was. A lot of my initial goals weren't goals that I set, that's what the accident set. So I wanted to get out of hospital because the accident put me in there. It's just something that had to be done, and I think that started the long journey of having these goals set and doing these goals and achieving them and feeling good about it, and then thinking, what's next? What's next to get me back to my normality? This is where I got married, and I got married down there at the front. Following the accident, which happened right at the end of April, I knew one big thing that was coming up was me and Ruth are getting married in August. A lot of people said, are you going to postpone it? Or I presume you're postponing it. And I was just very fixed in my ideas of, no, of course we're not. You know, that's what we plan to do. In the hospital bed, you know, there's so much that I had to do before I got to that stage. There's certain things that you do on your wedding day, and one of them is you stand. And I hadn't really thought twice about that before, and now suddenly that was a really big thing. When I got home, what I really had to do was practice, and the hospital allowed me a Zimmer frame, which is good, so I could bring that home and I could start practicing that. And I remember just pulling the wheelchair up to the Zimmer frame, clutching onto it, and then just standing up. And there's certain points in that when your brain just goes, don't do this, and that was really difficult to force myself to stand up, subject pain on myself for as long as I could, and then sit down again. It was really, really difficult. But that's what my goal was. And again, it was really important for me to do this, not just for me, but for everybody else that was attending the wedding, because like I said, I'm a traditional person and they're coming to see a wedding, and I want it to be like a normal wedding. I'd set a goal, I'd achieved it, I'd almost like gone further than what I thought I would. And much as I rested afterwards, it kind of gave me the encouragement to try other goals, to keep pushing myself further and further. When I woke up in the hospital bed and I looked at the condition of my legs, I just said to myself straight away, well, I'll never run again. That's a fact. They did say that I've got to consider the fact that I might not walk again. And at that point, I did feel a bit of a fight or flight thing, thinking, well, I will walk again, you know, you got that wrong. I was thinking about what I could do rather than what I couldn't, and as time progressed, I kind of, you know, did swimming, I think, was the first thing. But once I was in the pool, I was quite normal because they couldn't see that I had a cage on and I could swim up and down. And it was hard work, but I didn't really care. I wanted to do something competitive and swimming was all I could do. So I couldn't enter a swimming competition, I wasn't that good, but I heard about this relay triathlon. So my brother ran, my friend cycled, and I did the swimming bit. Yeah, we didn't come first or anything, but it was all about doing it, being the best that you could be, the fact that I'd achieved that, and I was really, really happy about it. I eventually got my confidence to go back on the bike, and then it got to 2009, and somebody said, oh, what challenge are you doing this year, Steve? You know, kind of like laying down a gauntlet, and I thought, oh, I haven't really thought of anything yet. And all I could find was a triathlon, swim, cycle, and run. So I thought, well, I could swim, cycle, and then the running bit, I could just walk, and yeah, people would overtake me, but so be it. My goal would be to finish the triathlon. So I did loads of rehabilitation down here, and it was really interesting how when I did find that challenge that I wanted to do, the next one in 2009, of it being a para triathlon, that it happened to be down here at Rother Valley. In the back of my mind, it was very special to me that I was now running round the course where I struggled to walk. And I do remember just coming down the finish line, knowing that I was in first place and knowing that I was going to win. I'd actually won my category, won my event, and I was the British champion, so I was ecstatic. It's just amazing.
Stephen, you seem to be struggling to walk a bit today.
Yeah, I'm in loads of pain. It's always after I've been for a run the next day or that evening I'll be in pain. So last night I was in a lot of pain and woke up this morning, I'm still in a lot of pain. It's just one of those things. But eventually it gets up on top of you really, and it just like, you just need to sit down. I did sit down for about 5 minutes. Ruth forced me to. She said, you must go and sit down. She cares about me because she loves me, and she's quite angry that I cause pain upon myself. She doesn't get it. And she even asked me the question, she says, oh, if the pain's really bad, will you consider not doing the race on Sunday? And I kind of just went silent and looked at her and said, are you joking? Seriously, do you want me to answer that? Of course I'm going to do it. That's what I do. Sometimes I'm in a lot of pain, but I don't want to show people how much pain I'm in because they'll probably tell me to stop what I'm doing, but that's my choice. I don't want people to be worried about me or caring about me that side, really. Just want to get on with it. The bike I've had a couple of years now, and I've got a few little tabs around here. The bike, this gear doesn't like being treated too rough, and this one it doesn't matter so much, this can be rough. So what I've done is I've taped on here Susie, my daughter, Susie Smooth, to remind me to do that one nice and smooth, and this one Robert Rough, as in it doesn't really matter, I can just like whack it up and crack on. Sadly they can't come and see me when I'm around the world or various events, but by getting Susie to actually write her name there, Robert to write his name on that one, and Ruth to write her name on that, means that they're actually helping me to achieve my dreams, my goals, and helping me to become a world champion. So it's suddenly a nice team event. So how are you feeling today, Steve? Yeah, pretty good. Kind of excited. There's obviously a little bit of nervousness down there, but I've got rid of that. I've checked out the corners, I know what gear I'm going to potentially be in. I'm not tired, I think I'm running on adrenaline at the moment, had a bit of food, so that'll be kicking in with the energy and I'll be fine. I'll probably collapse after the race, but that's a different thing altogether.
Hey, do you want to speak to me? That second run's so tough. But yeah, really good. I did it. Provisionally first place, which was awesome. Up there, I just felt burnt out completely, so exhausted. But it just seemed to go on forever. And my ankle was really killing me. So I just know it's going to hurt tonight, but I thought, let's go, go, go. Let's cross that finish line. Completely spent. And I did it. I even had a little sprint finish at the end, so it's awesome. Really, really good race.
I've really enjoyed competing and being an elite athlete and getting to the level and becoming world champion. And it's now time to move on to maybe to the next thing. I do a lot of inspirational and motivational talks at the moment. I did this presentation at a school and I got some thank you notes sent through to me, and it's just like, wow, that is really amazing. It really confirms that I'm doing the right thing by doing this. And I just think that's really powerful, that I've got this thing that I can do to help people. If I've got that ability, then I should use it. And it's something that I can do now because I'm not set on these goals of being an international world champion. I'm just trying to keep fit and healthy and do the nationals. I'm loving doing the inspirational talks at the moment, and you know, people say I could make that into a business, but I really haven't got time. So I think the next challenge is going to be through these guys. What do they want to do? They say that, you know, in a selfish way, you can get happiness by making other people happy. So it's not necessarily about me. I've achieved so much that, you know, I almost want to give myself a break. But at the moment, I'm really, really happy. So whatever I'm doing it's the right thing.